There are so many kinds of magic in this world. So much so that I just don't know, I didn't know where to find the magic that I supposed to use. Because I was very much attracted to magic, to using magic, but all in order to follow the dragon and to be with the dragon. That was my only desire, but there was of course no information in what I should do or what I was supposed to do. Every religion and every spirituality will ever say, "Oh, join us, we have the way." But I don't trust that. I don't trust what people say, "Come to us." On the dragon's path, I say, whenever you feel the dragon, then you are on the dragon's path. Your dragon is trying to guide you, but you're totally free in whatever you are doing. And that is actually what other spiritualities and especially religions don't do. They just don't accept other, free will. um, yeah, but in this case, I was very desperate and I didn't know what to use because I was searching and searching for the right kind of magic, but they all felt wrong, especially when I joined this Wicca community group. Whenever they were doing, it just was, why? Why were they doing this? It just had no purpose. Why were they doing such rituals and listening to this girl in front that's supposed to know it all? I had the feeling that I knew more than her about magic. Um, Whenever I was saying to them how to summon up the dragon, and there was no response. There was just complete ignoration. They were ignoring me because I said that. Because yeah, I quit this because this was not my kind of magic. Um, so yeah, I had to search them. I had to find the ways that I had to use. Of course, now I know more than ever then that if you are following the dragon, then your best kind of magic is expressing your own feelings for them, expressing them inside of rituals, but not only rituals. So, for example, inside of an altar like this one. But yeah, I was actually very, yeah, I was trying to search them for the magic that is what's supposed to mean for me, what I was searching them. But of course, there is no information about this. The Dragon's Path is actually the most difficult one because there is no information about this. So, and there is a lot of doubt because the dragon is so darn much demonized that people just don't dare to accept their dragon or the dragon's path, or they are afraid of what their parents are going to say, so people just don't dare to come out. The people who are coming out with this are very brave just to say that they are followers of the dragon and they use magic of the dragon. And yeah, if you, some people laugh with this, some people hate it. Very brave to come out with this. So yeah, I was reading books for this. I, especially in the beginning, I was reading books. So maybe I would kind of have a success with this, and I stumble on this one book, that I still remember to this day, and that made me after I had my encounters with my gods. But at that moment, I didn't know what their names were, and this was a book that said there were gods and they had the form of a dragon. And these gods were named Tiamat, Leviathan, and Pangu, that was not Pangu, and Fafnir. It was described as a terrible Fafnir back in the book, and this was this was voodoo book, voodoo, very much ancient voodoo. Um, and I was found it strange to see dragons inside of an ancient voodoo book, and I was reading it all down, and it was saying something about a god that in ancient voodoo and still to this day was very much adored and worshipped. And this god was actually the first god after my dragon gods, the encounter of my dragon gods, that I worked with because I read books. I wanted to see what it does. And this god was named Damballa. Damballa is a white serpent, the white serpent god, creator of life, so it said, and one with water. very much similar to Leviathan. So it was also a draconic serpent that could shapeshift and manifest in how he desires, how he wants to. He's also a god of fertility, a male fertility, and also a god of desperation, and those who are in need, the ones who are in desperate need for help. So Damballa, or the white serpent, was very much worshipped as the giver of life, but also the giver of light, the giver of those of compassion, and that intrigued me because yeah, I'm all about compassion, you know. Um, so I trusted this. I trusted these words. So this is actually the sign of Damballa. Damballa is, like I said, the white serpent that could manifest in many ways than one, but his original form is that of the great white serpent, and he looked a lot like Leviathan. That so much so that I came to wonder myself, what is their connection with each other? What is the connection between Damballa and Leviathan? But people demonize this so much, especially this sign, and as well as the snake in itself, the serpent that's said to eat the apple. Later on, they demonized the serpent the most, so that you would be careful and not trust the serpent. But in this case, I trusted the serpent very much, and not actually what those who are demonizing it were saying. I ditched them for a while, and so in the church, because I was a servant of a church. Oh my God, and I wanted to try this out because I knew that the dragon was a god and the dragon was a guardian and deities. I knew that they were good spirits. So I wanted to use this as well. And oh my goodness, I learned something very beautiful from this god. This god, I was in desperation. And this desperation, that was because I could not feel my dragon anymore. I could not feel my dragon, but I still love my dragon. I still want to follow my dragon. So Damballa showed me something different. And that was my dragon plush. My dragon plush that I was sleeping with. I had to hold it inside of my hands. And very close to my chest, where the dragon has first touched me. Very close to this place. And so now I was supposed to close my eyes and think about my dragon. Just feel my dragon, feel the energy of the dragon close by. Just that is what I'm supposed to do from the great white serpent. And that you are the one that's going to touch your dragon physically, because you are holding something that reminds you very much of your dragon. This is pure voodoo. You know, in the demonization of voodoo, they always explained that these dolls were made to hurt people, so they sting a needle inside of it so it will be felt. But originally, these dolls and these puppets and these statues were made so it would have a healing power, so you can heal them, so that you can actually protect them. For example, you can create a doll or something different, for example a simple feather, and it reminds you of someone or something, or your god or your dragon, and hold it and stroke it a bit, and that is also what your dragon could feel. For example, that is what Damballa was showing me. Damballa, great white serpent, showed me actually, if you have this enough of power, this is not enough of love, and you are so much desperate, then you can feel your dragon through your own feelings, but in a physical way. As you hold your own dragon plush, it will become your dragon. If you just stroke your dragon, it means that your dragon will feel it, and every time when you do so, the gates will be more opened. And that was a very valuable lesson, because every time when I go inside of the forest, they call me a tree hugger, because I do the same with a tree. I hold this tree. I hold this tree in my, just first my hands and then my arms, and I just give it all of the energy of what I could feel about the dragon. And whenever I could hold this tree, it will become the dragon. And every time when you do so, you help the dragon to open up the gate. A valuable lesson from an ancient god that was worshipped inside of Africa, ancient Africa. It's such a shame every time when I think about all of these guys that changed Africa, Asia, um, South America, all of them are changed because in every corner of the world the dragon was worshipped, and Africa was no exception. Because I more than ever understand the power of Damballa, Damballa's energy, the dragon, I mean the serpent or Damballa had a lot of draconic energy that could help you inside of in your search for your dragon. Because at the end I could understand what my kind of magic was. It was draconic magic. I was not simply a witch, I was a dragon witch, a desperate witch, who just uses the energy and magic in order to find their dragon, their only goal from the dragon witch, not to have fun with this. This is not fun. This is something of a life choice. This is a way of life, a constant search for your dragon. Damballa, Damballa could feel this desperation inside of what I have. And whenever the Damballa feels something like this, and you summon him towards his symbol, like again, this is his symbol. If you use this symbol, and inside of your rituals, and you show Damballa your desperation, then Damballa will also be your teacher and your guide inside of a ritual that will show you how to touch your dragon and how to help your dragon in opening the gates. Of course, like I said, also Damballa is very much demonized, just like the serpent itself, because there was a movie about this, Child's Play, wherever a guy was also in desperation whenever he was shot by the police and transferred his soul into a doll. Yeah, later on it became a killing doll, but yeah, very much demonized and didn't much understand about the goodness of Damballa. And how much actually he is this some kind of a saint for the desperate people, but not only desperate people, but also the animals and actually everything that is alive. He's the god from those who feels. Yeah, also fertility. He's very much male energy, but also he's a god of fertility and a god of um, yeah, desperation, a god that you can summon inside of your group, and a god that doesn't feel himself too pretty or something that he would not come. He will be your teacher in guiding you the ways to your dragon whenever you are invoking him inside of your rituals. But it doesn't even need to be a ritual. Just your simple tear can be enough for summoning him.